You ever just laying in bed at night and your mind's going a mile a minute?
Oh, tell me about it.
You know, tomorrow's to-do list and that awkward conversation you had.
Yeah.
Or just life, It's like trying to sleep on a bed of nails.
I get that.
And so I'm always looking for ways to invite more peace into those quiet moments before sleep.
Right.
Maybe carry that peace into the next day. And that's where this video, 3 Things to Say to the Holy Spirit Before Bed, really intrigued me.
It is interesting
Yeah.
because it really does kind of reframe those pre-sleep moments.
Yeah.
Instead of being a breeding ground for anxieties,
Right.
it becomes an opportunity to connect with the source of true peace,
Mm-hmm.
the Holy Spirit.
Okay, so the Holy Spirit's already with us.
Right.
Why do we need to actually say these things out loud?
Well, the Holy Spirit's described as a comforter.
Okay.
In John 14:16-17, a constant companion.
Yeah.
But like in any relationship, communication is key.
Yeah.
Imagine having a loved one always there for you, but you never actually talk to them.
Right.
You never share your heart.
Yeah.
It's not a very deep or fulfilling relationship, is it?
It'd be like having a best friend
Right.
live in your guest room,
Yeah,
but never invite them to hang out.
exactly.
They're there,
They're there,
but not really present.
not really present in your life.
Yeah.
So it's about consciously opening ourselves to the Holy Spirit's presence, inviting him into the center of our anxieties and concerns,
Yep.
and sometimes vocalizing those thoughts, even in a whisper, can help us release their grip on our hearts and minds.
I see. So it's like acknowledging we can't handle it all on our own.
Yes.
And inviting the Holy Spirit to step in.
I
To bring
agree.
his peace and comfort.
It's a beautiful act of surrender and trust.
Yeah.
The video suggests a simple practice.
Okay.
Take a few deep breaths to calm your body and mind,
Okay.
and then whisper a prayer, inviting the Holy Spirit in. They offer this example. Holy Spirit, I invite you to come close to me. I ask for your presence to fill my mind and heart, bringing me peace and comfort as I rest. But the key is to personalize it. Let the words flow from your own heart.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm someone who struggles to quiet my mind at night. Just the thought of consciously inviting the Holy Spirit into those racing thoughts, I don't know, it feels like a balm for my soul.
Yeah.
Reminds me of that verse.
Okay.
I keep my eyes always on the Lord. With him at my right hand, I will not be shaken.
That's a good one.
Psalm 16.8.
Powerful.
Like when we focus on his presence, we find that unshakable peace.
It's a reminder that even amid the chaos of our thoughts and emotions, the Holy Spirit is a steady anchor, a source of peace we can always turn to.
Okay, so that's the first step, inviting the Holy Spirit's presence.
Yes.
What's next in this nighttime conversation?
Second thing they encourage us to do is express gratitude for the day's blessings.
When I'm lying in bed replaying all the things that went wrong,
Right.
gratitude isn't exactly the first thing that comes to mind.
But that's exactly where this practice becomes so powerful.
Yeah.
Gratitude isn't about ignoring the challenges or pretending everything's perfect.
Right.
It's about intentionally shifting our focus, training our minds to notice the good, even amidst the difficult.
So it's like a mental reset button,
Yes,
a way to break free from that negative thought spiral.
exactly.
Okay.
And there's actually a lot of research on the psychological benefits of gratitude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it helps reduce stress, improve sleep, and boost overall well-being.
Interesting.
It's like rewiring our brains to focus on the positive, to appreciate the abundance in our lives, even the little things.
I can see how that would make a difference.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I've had a blah day, like nothing particularly amazing happened.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to be grateful for then?
That's the beauty of it.
Okay.
Gratitude doesn't need to be for grand events or achievements.
Okay.
It can be as simple as the warmth of your blanket, a delicious cup of tea, a moment of laughter with a loved one, or even the fresh air you breathe.
Wow. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm starting to get on board with this gratitude thing.
Good.
But how do we actually put it into practice before bed?
They suggest identifying just 3 things, no matter how small, that you're thankful for from the day,
Okay.
and then express that gratitude to the Holy Spirit. They provide a sample prayer. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for guiding me through this day. Thank you for the blessings, the lessons, and for being with me in every moment, even when I didn't see it.
I love that last part. Even when I didn't see it.
Right.
Sometimes I go through my day on autopilot,
Yeah.
not really noticing the subtle ways God might be working,
It happens.
or the little blessings he sprinkles along the way.
Yeah, and practicing gratitude helps us become more attuned to those moments,
Yeah.
more aware of God's presence in our everyday lives.
It does.
You know, Psalm 92.1-2 beautifully captures this sentiment. It is good to give thanks to the Lord, to sing praises to your name, O Most High, to declare your steadfast love in the morning and your faithfulness by night.
It is a good one.
It's a reminder that gratitude is a powerful way to connect with God.
So we've invited the Holy Spirit's presence. We've expressed our gratitude for the day.
Yes.
I'm sensing a theme here. Like we're intentionally creating space for peace and positivity before we drift off to sleep.
You're picking up on it perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that leads us to the third and final thing to say to the Holy Spirit before bed:
Okay.
surrendering tomorrow.
Oh, surrendering tomorrow.
This one can be particularly challenging, especially for those of us who are prone to worrying.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Champion worrier.
Right.
My mind loves to race through all the what ifs and worst case scenarios
I get that.
for the day ahead.
It's exhausting.
Exhausting.
So how do we actually surrender tomorrow to the Holy Spirit? What does that even look like?
Yeah.
It's simpler than you might think, but it requires a profound shift in perspective.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we're not ultimately in control.
Okay.
And that's actually a good thing.
I'm listening.
Think about all the energy we waste trying to micromanage our lives, to anticipate every twist and turn.
Oh, yeah.
It's like trying to hold onto a handful of sand.
Right.
The tighter we grip, the more slips through our fingers.
There's a good analogy.
So instead of white-knuckling our way through life,
Yeah.
we're releasing our grip and trusting that God has it handled.
So we're trusting that God has it handled.
Yes.
Good.
It's an act of faith,
Okay.
acknowledging that God's plan is bigger than our worries,
Mm-hmm.
and his timing is perfect.
And his timing is perfect.
Remember Jesus' words in Matthew 6.34, "Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own."
You know, I've heard that verse a million times, but it's never really hit me like that before.
I know, right?
Like he's saying, let go of the need to control everything. Trust me, I've got this.
That's exactly it.
Wow.
And the beautiful thing is when we truly surrender our worries to the Holy Spirit,
Yeah.
we experience a profound sense of freedom and peace.
That's what we need.
It's a weight lifted off our shoulders.
So do we just, shout, hey, God, take the wheel into the darkness?
You could, but it doesn't have to be that dramatic.
Okay.
The video suggests taking a few moments to mentally list your hopes, concerns, and plans for the next day, and then intentionally giving them over to God.
Okay.
They offer a beautiful prayer as a guide. Holy Spirit, I surrender tomorrow into your hands. Guide me in your wisdom, protect me, and fill me with peace as I rest tonight, knowing you are with me.
Okay.
Again, the words are just a starting point. Let your heart speak.
That's a great prayer.
It is, yeah.
I love how all this makes sense.
Yeah.
We're actively creating a space for peace,
Yes.
both in our minds and in our hearts,
Right.
before we even close our eyes.
And if that doesn't lead to a more restful night's sleep, I don't know what will.
Me neither. Yeah. And this surrender, it isn't just about finding peace at night.
No.
It's about stepping into each new day
Right.
with a sense of trust and clarity, knowing that even when things feel uncertain, we are held and guided by something greater than ourselves.
Exactly. It's amazing, isn't it?
It is. It's so powerful.
Trading anxiety for deep sense of peace and trust.
Yeah, it all starts with these three simple things we say to the Holy Spirit before bed.
That's right.
But before we dive into how to actually make this a habit,
Yeah.
let's pause here and pick up the conversation in part 2. All right, so we've talked about these three powerful prayers,
Yes.
but let's be real.
Okay.
I'm the queen of good intentions that just kind of fizzle out.
I get that.
How do we make this a habit?
Well, that's the million-dollar question.
It is.
Right. We can have all the knowledge in the world,
Yeah.
but if
Yeah.
we don't put it into practice, it's like having a gym membership we never use.
That's so true.
But fortunately, this video offers some really practical tips for making this a sustainable part of our lives.
Okay, lay it on me.
Okay. Well, the first tip is perhaps the most obvious one,
Okay.
but it's worth emphasizing.
Okay.
Consistency is key.
Okay, so like any habit we're trying to form,
Right.
working out, learning a new language,
Yeah,
even remembering to floss, it all boils down to repetition.
it does.
Showing up day after day, even when we don't feel like it.
Exactly.
But sometimes my brain feels like it has more potholes than pathways.
Right.
How do we overcome that resistance,
Yeah.
especially when we're tired and just want to crash?
That's where the power of intention comes in.
Oh,
It's about making a conscious decision to prioritize this practice.
mhm.
See it not as a chore, but as an investment in our spiritual well-being.
I like that.
Instead of, ugh, I should pray.
Yeah,
It's more like, I get to connect with the source of peace tonight.
I love that.
And the more we practice,
Yeah,
the more we experience the benefits.
right.
And the more those benefits become their own motivation.
I see.
Think about it.
Okay.
Remember the first few times you went for a run?
I do.
It probably felt like torture.
It did.
But then you started feeling more energized.
Yeah.
Maybe you even started to enjoy it.
Mm.
Suddenly, it wasn't such a struggle to lace up your shoes.
Oh, that's so true.
Right.
Yeah, I used to hate running, but now I actually kind of crave it.
Yeah,
It's a source of stress relief,
Yeah.
even joy.
that's great.
So you're saying that praying these 3 things before bed
Yes.
could become something we actually look forward to.
I truly believe it can, because what we're doing is cultivating a deeper connection with the Holy Spirit,
All right.
the source of all peace, joy, and love. And the more we tap into that source,
Yeah.
the more we experience those fruits in our lives.
Okay, I'm convinced.
Good.
Consistency it is.
All right.
What else did they suggest?
Next tip is all about personalization.
Okay.
Remember those sample prayers we talked about?
Yeah.
They're just that. Samples, not meant to be recited verbatim, right? Like some magic formula.
Right.
It's about speaking to the Holy Spirit in our own words
Uh,
in a way that feels genuine and heartfelt.
yeah, it's about authenticity.
Exactly.
Like I might say,
yeah.
hey, Holy Spirit, thanks for hanging in there with me today.
I love that.
I wasn't always the best listener, but you never gave up on me.
You got it.
Oh, yeah.
You're getting it. It's about letting go of that pressure to sound religious or perfect.
Right.
And just simply pouring out your heart to God in a way that feels natural to you.
I love that.
Right.
Especially for those who might feel intimidated by prayer
Absolutely.
or they're new to it.
Yeah.
It's like God's not grading our grammar
No.
or judging our vocabulary.
Yeah, not at all.
He just wants to hear from us.
Exactly. The Holy Spirit isn't concerned with eloquent language or theological precision.
Yeah.
He wants to connect with you
Yeah.
on a deeper level.
Right.
Meet you where you are, messy bits and all.
I've always struggled with feeling like I have to pray correctly.
Right.
But just talking to God like he's my best friend.
I think that's a beautiful way to approach prayer.
It's so much more accessible.
It is freeing. It's about vulnerability, honesty, letting go of the need to perform.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
Okay, so consistency,
Yes.
personalization.
Mm-hmm.
What's the final tip for making these nighttime prayers a sustainable habit?
This one might sound a bit counterintuitive,
Okay.
but it's incredibly powerful.
Okay.
They suggest if you find this practice helpful, share it with others.
So it's not just about personal transformation. It's about spreading the love.
Exactly.
Inviting others to experience that peace and clarity
Yes.
that comes from connecting with the Holy Spirit.
Yes, it's about recognizing that the benefits of this practice extend far beyond ourselves.
Yeah.
And when we share what we've learned, what's touched our hearts, we
Right.
create a ripple effect.
I love that ripple effect, like a rising tide lifts all boats.
I love that.
You know, like by nurturing our own connection with the Holy Spirit, we're somehow contributing to a greater wave of peace and love in the world.
Beautifully said. And it doesn't have to be anything elaborate.
Yeah.
It could be as simple as mentioning this practice to a friend who's struggling with anxiety, sharing the video on social media, or even inviting someone to pray these prayers with you.
Yeah, because when you discover something amazing,
Right.
you just naturally want to tell everybody.
Exactly.
Okay, so consistency, personalization, and sharing it with others.
Yes.
I'm feeling equipped and empowered
Right.
to make this a habit.
That's great.
But before we wrap up, I'm curious to explore how this nighttime practice might spill over into our days. So we end our days with peace.
Yes.
But what about carrying that peace into our days?
Right. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could bottle up that peaceful feeling
It would.
and carry it with us?
Right.
Like facing work deadlines or family dynamics or even just rush hour traffic.
Oh, I know.
But instead of feeling overwhelmed,
Yeah.
we're grounded in that sense of peace we've cultivated with the Holy Spirit.
So how do we do that? How do we
Yeah.
make that leap from nighttime peace to daytime empowerment?
Well, when we consistently invite the Holy Spirit's presence, express gratitude and surrender our worries each night, we're essentially training our minds and hearts
Okay.
to be more receptive to his influence.
I see.
It's like creating a spiritual muscle memory.
Okay.
And the more we engage those muscles, the
Yeah.
stronger they become and the more naturally they respond throughout the day.
So it's not like we're suddenly superhuman and able to deflect stress.
Yeah.
It's more like we're shifting our perspective,
Exactly.
our default setting.
Yeah.
So we're more likely to respond to challenges with peace rather than panic.
I love that, shifting our default setting.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing is that shift doesn't just impact us internally. It ripples outward into our interactions with others.
So instead of snapping at our kids
Yeah.
or getting frustrated with a coworker,
Yeah.
we're able to respond with patience and understanding,
Yes.
maybe even a touch of humor.
That's the beauty of this practice.
We transform our relationships.
It would. It's not just about personal transformation.
Yeah,
It's about becoming a conduit for the Holy Spirit's peace and love in the world.
that's a beautiful thought.
Imagine the impact we could have on our families, our workplaces, our communities,
Right.
just by approaching each interaction with that grounded sense of peace.
Like Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world.
Yeah,
We can't force others to be more peaceful, but we can model it.
right.
We can radiate it.
Exactly.
Maybe it'll catch on.
Maybe so. And, the video doesn't explicitly say this,
Okay.
but I wonder if this practice might also help us become more attuned to the Holy Spirit's guidance throughout the day.
Oh, interesting.
Like if we're starting our days with that intentional connection, maybe we're more likely to hear those subtle whispers,
Right?
those nudges to reach out to someone.
Sure.
Or take a different route,
Okay.
or even to seize an opportunity we might have otherwise missed.
So we're turning up the volume on our spiritual intuition,
Exactly.
becoming more sensitive to those divine appointments that are happening all around us.
That's where the real magic happens.
Yeah.
It's not just about finding peace at night, it's about finding peace for the day.
Right.
And carrying that peace with us wherever we go.
That's good.
It's about cultivating a constant dialogue with the Holy Spirit, a partnership
Yeah.
that informs our thoughts, our actions, and our way of being in the world.
This whole conversation has been a gift.
It has?
It's amazing how these three simple things,
I know.
inviting the Holy Spirit, expressing gratitude, and surrendering tomorrow,
Yeah.
can have such a profound ripple effect on our lives and the lives of those around us.
It truly is, and I hope our listeners feel empowered
Mm-hmm.
to make these prayers a part of their nightly routine.
Yeah. Not as a rigid rule, but as a loving invitation
Right.
to experience the transformative power of the Holy Spirit.
It's so easy to get caught up in the busyness of life,
Right.
to let our anxieties drown out those whispers of peace and hope.
Absolutely.
But this practice reminds us we always have a choice.
We too.
We can choose to end our days in a state of worry and exhaustion,
Oh.
or we can choose to surrender our burdens.
Fill our hearts with gratitude
Yeah.
and open ourselves to the infinite peace that comes from connecting with the Holy Spirit.
That's a beautiful way to put it. It's a choice we make each night.
It is.
And with each choice, we create a more peaceful, more joyful, more fulfilling life.
Well said.
And on that note, we'll leave you, dear listener, to ponder this.
Okay.
How might approaching your day with the peace and clarity gained from this evening practice impact not just your nights,
Yeah.
but the way you experience your waking hours as well?
It's a good question.
Until next time, may you be filled with the peace that passes all understanding.